Let me get your views on what the issue here is and what you think the LGBT community is trying to do and how you interpret that.
Well, I think, first of all, they're here to express their opinion, which is, their First Amendment rights. But I think they're proposing a flawed understanding of marriage. And so I'm here to just, give what I believe is the true understanding of marriage.
And that would be?
Well, I kind of have it here diagrammed on my sign. Mm-hmm. So marriage is properly designated to the union of a man and a woman. That union is the only union that can be called a marriage, and for two specific reasons. Number one, I have here, there has to be sexual compatibility. So sexual attraction is not sexual compatibility. For example, someone can have an attraction for an inanimate object. Some people have fetishes, okay? And if you have attraction for something like that, that doesn't mean you're sexually compatible with it. For sexual compatibility, you have to have sexual complementarity. In other words, you need to have a man and a woman. That's what sexual compatibility is. It's not just attraction, physical sexual attraction for another person. So that's the first element. The second element is only the sexual love between a man and a woman can conceive a child, can conceive a new life. So that's the foundation of the family. And a child deserves to be born and raised in that love, in that sexual union, that sexual love expressed between a man and a woman. So those two elements are what form a real marriage. So now, I'm a man, you're a man. I can love you. I can have a spiritual bond with you. I don't deny the fact that a man can love a man or a woman can love a woman in a spiritual sense. But for that spiritual bond to be consummated sexually, there has to be sexual complementarity between those two people. And so that's why marriage is the union of a man and a woman. And I think it's in the common good of society. That's why I advance this view in the public square and as a public policy measure, because it's good for society, it's good for children. It's not to deny anyone rights, it's to affirm that this structure, this natural structure is for the good of society, for the health of society, and for the strength of our families and for the good of children.
Okay, are you aware of the legal definitions of marriage in the state of Illinois?
Where are they?
No, I said, are you aware of the legal definitions of marriage in the state of Illinois as they exist?
Right now.
Right now.
Yes, I am.
Okay, could you characterize those for me?
The legal definition of marriage, as of right now in the state of Illinois, is the union of one man and one woman.
And this is, you've looked into the statutes and that appears?
No, I haven't. That's my understanding of what,
Oh, I see. That's your understanding.
Yes. Civil unions were passed in January of 2011. And right now, legislation's being proposed in the Illinois General Assembly, to change the definition of marriage.
And what do you feel is the church's role in lobbying their position in that legislative discussion?
Church's role is the same as any other citizen's role, any other organization's role, in the political process and bring, their values to bear in the public square. So the church, as does any church, synagogue, religious body, gay and lesbian organization, has, that fundamental right to enter the public square and to shape policy.
Well, what do you feel about monetary funds and revenue that is collected under the auspices of tax exemption being used in this manner?
Well, the church has tax exempt status for the charitable works that it does. That's the reason that it has tax exempt status. So, but the church has a role, just like any body has a role, a right, to express their opinions on public policy. Tax exempt status is it's a different discussion. I mean, I don't believe personally
Well, when we're talking, I'm sorry to push back on that.
That's fine.
But when we're talking about lobbying efforts on legislation, utilizing funds and revenues that have been collected under the tax exemption to do that, that's a political process, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I don't have. That's a different debate. I don't have an opinion on that right now.
Well, I think that's the crux of the debate right here today.
No, I don't think it is the crux of the debate. I think the crux of the debate today, is what marriage is about, and whether Cardinal George is a bigot for expressing his views on marriage. If he were expressing views in agreement with the parties involved, in spite of tax exempt status, he wouldn't be receiving the label of bigot right now. There are other churches like the Episcopal Church down the street who also have tax exempt status, who agree with the LGBT definition of marriage, who aren't being protested, who aren't being called a bigot, for their views. So it's not really about tax exempt status.
Okay, is there anything else that we haven't covered right now that you would like to address?
No, I think I've said everything I need to say.
All right, okay.